I'm so glad that I sit back and I look at a story and I look at it from different angles because I try to put myself in that person's shoes, or I try to look at it from a perspective that the media or talking heads don't allow. Now, when Kanye West came on the scene, I remember I was going into the military. You heard the story. He's supposed to be in this car accident real bad, and I think that's when he came up that song through the fire or something. His thing with the Shaka Khan through the fire, the sampling and everything. And he became immensely popular around that time. I think Rihanna was getting hot around that time as well. And by the time I got a basic training, everybody was like, yo, Kanye West is the man and blah, 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 blah. He's a genius and all this other stuff. And when Hurricane Katrina happened, I was in Iraq. I remember watching the coverage. I remember the comments being made from politicians, talking heads. And I remember when they did their fundraiser and Kanye West said, George Bush don't care about black people. Now, did he mean George Bush directly? Could be. He was the sitting president. But he was also talking about his administration and the people that work for George Bush. Just like when somebody say Barack Obama, are they talking about just about the president? Nope. They talking about his administration. When they talk about Donald Trump, they're not talking about just Donald Trump, they talk about the administration and so on. When he said that, he fell out of favor not with just the left, I mean the right, excuse me, but those who consider him liberal. But the funny thing is, them same people that was said Kanye was an inappropriate time have said inappropriate things at inappropriate times about politicians and other celebrities. But what Kanye wasn't supposed to do it as a black man, you're never supposed to give your opinion. You're supposed to smile and perform. And then when something happened, you beg on cue. That's when they started going after Kanye West. See, a lot of y'all tend to forget that he was being criticized because Matt Lawler, Karma came and visited his butt. He did an interview with former Bush. Was that 2011, maybe 2012? Years after. Well, Kanye West, why would you still talking about Kanye West? Because he got on stage, he embarrassed a white dude or white America, and then they didn't never will ever forgive him for what he did to Taylor Swift. Now, as I said before, I didn't agree with what he did to Taylor Swift. A lot of people didn't agree with what he did to Taylor Swift. People knew that he was drunk, but he's being drunk and being honest. Beyonce should have won the award. And there was other people that criticized MTV for getting the award to Taylor Swift. But the thing is, Kanye West would forever be tied to that because a dark-skinned black man going on stage with a skinny white chick, barely out of her teens, she's going to be seen as a damsel in distress. And you guys remember how everybody was talking about, we want to kick his butt, they want to kill him, all kinds of hateful things are going on. And when Kanye apologized, it still wasn't good enough. Jay Leno invoked his mother. And right there at that moment, you saw the change in Kanye West's face. Go back and look at that clip. And I even said way back then, even before I was doing comments, because I didn't start doing commentaries till a year later on YouTube. But I said Jay Leno was wrong for that. And if you guys remember my earlier videos, I said Jay Leno was inappropriate, like basically trying to chastise a black man, like, what are your mama gonna think? We don't never do that to white men. We don't never say to those white men, what would your mother think of you doing this? But to black men, that's the way of emasculating us. And that's what Jay Rotten Leno, big chin ass did. But then again, he betrayed Jimmy Walker, but Jimmy Walker deserved to be betrayed. But I'll talk about that in another commentary. Once that happened, you had a newly elected sitting president who Kanye raised money for, who before had threw Kanye and Bernie Mac under the bus. See, a lot of y'all don't remember that when Bernie Mac, before he died, him and Kanye was in Chicago doing a fundraiser. And people was critical of Bernie Mac coming out. Those of us from Chicago or the Chi, the Windy City of big shoulders, we know what kind of comic Bernie Mac was. Anybody watched him on Def Comedy Jam or the movies he's in or his special? Bernie Mac can be raunchy, but it was observational humor. And I guess Barack Obama didn't like the fact that Bernie Mac was saying things in front of these white folks. They're like, oh my gosh, this is crass humor. And he said, and Barack Obama said, Bernie, you need to know your audience. Whoa, you didn't say that to these other white comics that was doing these White House things when he got in office or telling jokes about him. He never did that. When Kanye was rapping and using a certain word that I don't use, hey, that language, hey, instead of pulling him to the side and having one of your campaign workers said, Mr. West, Mr. Obama prefer you not, if you possibly do a clean version. Now, Obama berated him, but when he became president and did it as a sitting president, that did something. Remember the warm feeling that Black America had, even those of us who were suspicious of Obama, who knew that he was not going to be what we thought or what we wanted him to be. He did an interview with Jake Tapper, the same Jake Tapper that's been going after Tamika Mallory, Mr. Farrakhan, Ice Cube, Nick Cannon. He said, Mr. President, that was a dumb question to ask anyway. You didn't ask George Bush or any of these other sitting presidents what they thought about the Dixie Chicks. At least I don't recall it. What do you think of Kanye West? And what did Obama say? Oh, he's a jackass. He didn't. Now here it is. You had a senator say you lied at your State of the Union first State of the Union address. Didn't say a word, but you can say Kanye is a jackass with no hesitation. And he disrespected Michael Jackson as well when Michael died, but we'll talk about that another time again. How you think Kanye West sat there and said, wait a minute, we from the same city, I didn't help raise money, and you're going to call me a jackass in front of the world? And it was all immediate. President Obama called Kanye a jackass. Everybody's making jokes. Did you hear? President Obama called Kanye West a jackass. How you think that made that man feel? The man that lost his mama. The man is still being ridiculed for that MTV incident with Taylor Swift. They still bringing up him saying George Bush don't care about black people. Now you got the so-called first black president throwing you under the bus. And then a few months later, he did it again. A few years later, he did it again. But this time, he attacked the man's family. You don't want to be like the Kardashians. How do you think that man sat there knowing that he's married to this woman? She's pregnant or about to have his kid or had his kid already. The time, I can't remember the exact time. How do you think they made him feel? Then it was reported that he had mental health issues. So just think about it. The man's father wasn't in his life like some of us were blessed to have. Then you look up to somebody and then they sit there and use their bully pulpit to call you a jackass in front of the world. Even though you apologize, don't you dare mess with your head. So no wonder he grabbed when Donald Trump came in office. He said, forget Barack Obama. Forget Michelle Obama. I'm going to gravitate to Donald Trump. Even though he probably know that Donald Trump can't stand his ass. But then the black community, we turn on each other. When that white media decide they want to vilify us or attack us, we join right in on it. Just some of y'all, when I did a video, Harvey, but Kanye West be saying the most outrageous thing. I said, they all say outrageous thing. I said, you're going to get mad at him saying something, but you got brothers talking about killing each other in music, calling each other racial slurs, exploiting our women, exploiting our children. That don't upset you. But Kanye West got y'all all up in arms. When that white guy called Kanye and his wife, you know what? The media had the guy pictured. They protected that guy. I remember I had found the image of it. I wish I still had it. And I'm like, but you don't see TMZ or Entertainment Night question that guy. They didn't sit there and say he was inappropriate. They made Kanye and Kim like they deserve it. That's what the media did. Instead of us in the black community saying, wait a minute, hold on. Why y'all keep messing with dude? When Kanye, he ain't saying nothing y'all talking about him. Sarah Michelle Gellar, James Franco, Seth Rogen was messing with him and his wife. What's the last thing Sarah Michelle Gellar did besides be on that show with the late Robert Williams? How long that show been off the air? What has James Franco did besides a stunt casting of the General Hospital and a few other movies that nobody watched? How many flops or movies that Seth Rogen been in, or they haven't made the money his early movies have? Well, Herb, you wore a Confederate jacket. I said, well, you know what? You went to Walmart, you went to Kmart, you went to all these different stores. You saw Confederate bandanas, you had stickers, you had flags. So Kanye West said, if they're going to make money off of them, I'll make money off of it. But that went over a lot of our people's head. And I had told you, I said, he crazy like a fox. I said, he ain't that dumb. He knows exactly what he's doing. And when he did it and people realized that all of a sudden we shouldn't be wearing Confederate merchandise, remember? But see, a lot of y'all ain't paying attention. Oh, Harvey, you just taking up for gay black. Yes and no. Sometimes we need to take up for our people. Sometimes we, as black folk, we need to understand that some of our people do things out of pain. And then mental health is something that we need to talk about more. Because it had been talked about for years that Kanye West is bipolar. There's times when Kanye is calm, and there's times when he's manic. And right now, he's going through a manic episode, and you recognize it. But you got people out here, you take it for Kanye. Look, I keep telling y'all, I recognize mental health issues. I have friends and family who are bipolar. There are people that I know that got into their 20s and had a psychotic break. I forget the name, manic. People don't talk about that. I have PTSD. I'm not ashamed to say it. I hate the 4th of July holiday. I hate when they start selling firecrackers and stuff. Every time, boom, I jump, I jerk. I hate when I have flashbacks or a certain smell trigger me or an image. I hate that. And then as black folk, you would think we understand considering the post-traumatic slave disorder that we have. Well, we've been traumatized. People say, well, you wasn't a slave. But that mindset, the abuse and stuff has become generational. So you would think that we as black folk would say, you know what? Let's pray that this brother gets some help. Nah, what do? D.L. Hughley and them jump in. Jamie Foxx. Yeah, nigga, Kanye West, excuse me for using the word, but yeah, Jamie, D.L. Hughley was talking crap about Kanye West. Yeah, you know what I noticed? Kanye West waits till he gets an album. Kanye West, he talks about black folk. But then you, DL, get on in mixed company and talk about Bill Cosby for the man we had a day in court. You conflated a past experience with you and Bill Cosby. Said, yeah, he raped somebody. Jamie Foxx wanted to keep his relationship with Katie Holmes secret. Respect my space and privacy. People did that. Black folk did that. Now you're going to turn around and make jokes about the man and his wife? And yeah, and they saying that Kim Kardashian's embarrassed, mortified, and hurt because Kanye had talked about abortion. Well, you know what? Kanye got religious the last few years. And right now he's having a man incident and he's religious. So now he's going to talk about things that may have not need to be talked about publicly or may not want people to know about. He has said that Kim and her mother wanted to take him to somewhere to see a doctor. What they want to do is try to get him some help. Now they're gonna be people gonna read. No, they messed him up. He's gonna be institutionalized. Kim Kardashian messed Kanye West up a long time ago. I think she actually loves him, but yeah, she's getting frustrated. Now people gonna say, "Oh, she don't care." We don't know. We like to project on Kanye and his wife's stuff because the so-called dominant has put that out there. Kim Kardashian, she's a whore. She did a porno. Well, that's the case. Pamela Anderson, a lot of white women that are well known who are stars are whores and porno stars too. Remember, y'all legitimize a porn star, Jenna Jameson, and old girl, what was that, Stormy, the one that Trump supposed to slept with? Y'all, people's defending her. Well, Trump paid her off and blah, blah, blah. And plus, y'all, I'm going to say it now and I say it again. The Kardashians are not white. This is why they do not respect that family. I've never seen them talk about Paris Hilton and her horse way, her sister the way they talk about the Kardashians. And plus, the Kardashian women, who are they with? Black men. Even they have sisters, black men. So of course they're gonna be criticized, and of course any black man that's with them gonna be talked about. But what I found troublesome that in our community, we're cracking jokes and making mockery instead of saying, "Yo, this brother need to get some help. Let's pray that he gets some help." But then again, y'all showing me that this is why some people in our community refuse to go to the doctor, refuse to get that help, take their medicine, because it's a stigma, got people make fun of them. Let me say this again. I am not a fan of Kanye West. I don't sit there and be like, "Ooh, I gotta go get some gym shoes from him or clothes and whatnot." And maybe he is. And could this be an act? Could be, but I don't think so. Cause some of the things he's doing and saying is recognizable. And now I think some people, even the media, because I was watching a few shows, they were saying that this is not funny anymore. It never was funny. I told y'all way back years ago, I said, I think he got a mental imbalance. No, you just take it off because you Chicago. No. As I said before, when you go to counseling, when you have your own issues, or people know people that got them, or if you watch your people around you, like when you watch the news, when they could catch a black guy or woman convicted of a crime, you see them, you can tell that vacant look in their eyes. You can tell. But yet, the white guy and the white woman go commit a mass murder, pretend like they're guilty and get a slap on the wrist. See, we as a people have to be extremely careful how we say and do things. I pray to God this brother get the help he needs. Don Lemon on TV, he's like talking about Kanye like a dog. But I ain't never heard Don Lemon talk about no white guy or white woman got caught saying and doing things like that. Valerie Warner, who works at that show here in Chicago, Win City Live, she sit right next to a white coach, and they talk about Kanye West like a dog. But I guarantee if Kanye West was in town and they was able to get an interview with him, they'd be all up in his ass. This is why so many of our people refuse to go get the medical care they need, because they said, well, look how they attacking him. They're going to make fun of me. How many times have you seen news reports where they said the man is bipolar, but yet they still attack him? Well, Kanye West is doing this, all crazy old Kanye West. When Britney Spears is having that breakdown, y'all didn't do that to Britney Spears and these other people. But they tell you why some of us say Black Lives Matter, because people don't respect our space, don't respect our pain, don't respect our view. But when your own people sit out here and talk, I mean, DL Hughley went around talking about Nick Cannon, he talking about Kanye, he talking about Michael Jackson. I mean, DL, you passed out. You barely survived. Remember, my friend, you got children. You got a wife. This virus is not over with yet. What if one of your kids gets stricken down with something and somebody say, "Ha, that's karma"? You'd be upset and mad. Just because you tell jokes don't mean you get to say anything and everything without some recourse. I'm sick and tired of people being so damn insensitive people with mental issues. And Kanye just a famous representation of it. But it shows you how black people, black men in particular, are never given the benefit of doubt. We're always the villains of the story, even when we're the victims. And you guys know, I've been telling y'all, I noticed they use the word bizarre a lot when they describing black people incidents with us. I want you to listen to this audio and listen to the word that's going to be used. And this is like when they use thug or you people or urban. Listen to this.
I want to get to Kanye West's bizarre Twitter rant overnight. The rapper.
You heard that. A black guy reading this news story about Kanye West, he said bizarre. You guys remember hearing you tell you see when they describe black folk, it's bizarre, it's abnormal. Listen to this again.
I want to get to Kanye West's bizarre Twitter rant overnight. The rapper sounded off in some startling, now deleted tweets. Some were aimed at his wife, Kim Kardashian West, and her mom, Kris Jenner. ABC's Diane Macedo has the details.
Overnight, rapper Kanye West raising concerns with a series of tweets, some aimed at his mother-in-law and wife, claiming the duo wanted him locked up. Kanye writes to his 30 million followers, Kim was trying to fly to Wyoming with a doctor to lock me up, like on the movie Get Out, because I cried about saving my daughter's life yesterday. The tweet references a comment West made at his first presidential campaign event in South Carolina on Sunday. Claiming he became pro-life after conversations with his wife, Kim Kardashian West, during her first pregnancy.
She said she was pregnant and for 1 month and 2 months and 3 months. We talked about her not having this child.
Kanye says it was Kim who ultimately insisted on keeping the baby.
But even if my wife were to divorce me after this speech, she brought North into the world, even when I didn't want to. She stood up and she protected that child.
Kanye also tweeted to mother-in-law Kris Jenner that she will not be allowed to see his children. West is currently at his ranch in Wyoming while his wife and family are in California. He later tweeted, I love my wife. My family must live next to me. It's not up to E! Or NBC anymore. According to People, Kardashian West was furious at her husband for sharing intimate details about their daughter. Earlier this month, West announced his intention to run for president. The artist has stirred up controversy with other social media rants before. His recent behavior now raising concerns for the rapper, who has also been open about managing his bipolar disorder in the past.
When you're in this state, you're hyper paranoid about everything. Everyone now is an actor. Everything is a conspiracy. You see everything. You feel the government is putting chips in your head. You feel you're being recorded. You feel all of these things.
Was ABC's Diane Macedo reporting most of the tweets have been deleted. Kanye's last tweet says he's going to focus now on music.
Now you heard Kanye West's own voice talking about how you feel when you bipolar. As I said before, I know people are bipolar, and what he described is true. When you're not on your medicine, and people need to understand this is more frequent than you think. When people don't take their meds, they have a manic attack. They don't sleep for days. They're hyper vigilant. See, and you shouldn't have to wait till you are a victim or you have somebody, a loved one that's going through this. You should be compassionate. But let's be honest, a lot of the stuff that people said public about this man, this has affected how you view the world and view himself too now. Now, there are going to be people going to disagree with me, fine. That's your right to disagree with me. But let me tell you something. As long as you live on this planet, you're going to have some type of health issue or somebody close to you. The human mind can only take so much. It's so fragile. I'm watching the dude, and I guess when he's talking about his daughter, he was saying that he felt, he's into religion. You know how in the Bible they frown upon abortion and everything, certain religious beliefs? When he's trying to explain that, hey, this is what I thought. I didn't, because he probably didn't want to be a father at first. But then, remember how he was going around bragging, saying he wanted to be a dad. He was happy and excited. Maybe he didn't think he would be a good father. Remember, his father wasn't in his life. There's some men out here who are afraid that they're going to repeat their father's actions. This is why some dudes don't take responsibility, which is silly, but I understand where some of it's coming from. He was trying to explain to that crowd. A lot of times Kanye be trying to explain himself, and he don't slow down and come out a certain way. Now, do I agree with everything what Kanye West saying? Do no. That sometimes I say I know exactly what Kanye doing. Stop. I want people to understand that we need to have a little bit more compassion for mental health, especially within the black community, and especially with black men. Because there are a lot of brothers walking around here don't get proper counseling on mental health, and that's why a lot of them act out and do dangerous and silly things. This is something that needs to be spoken about more in our community, I believe. Because Taraji P. Henson had brought it up, and some other black folks over the years. But we so dismissive, and black folk, we like, just pray on it. Take a home remedy, or we just ignore it and keep pushing on. That's wrong way of thinking. When somebody commits suicide in our community, what's the first thing they say? They weak. Instead of saying, maybe what was going on? What made them go to that extreme? I want y'all to think about these things, because I don't find it funny. I'm worried that this brother's going to do something to extreme, or somebody's going to hurt him. Somebody's going to hurt him. But not just this brother. There are brothers and sisters out there who are doing the same thing as we speak, and I pray for them and their families.